Chelsea News as Football London highlights a number of Blues players who are not familiar faces in Mauricio Pochettino's squad during the current 2023-24 season. It's well documented by this point that Chelsea are not a club to shy away from splashing out on big-name players in order to bolster their squad to challenge for silverware. Since Roman Abramovich arrived at the club back in 2003, it's been common for the Blues to be near or at the very top of the Premier League's spending charts. Their dealings in the transfer market have often come under fire from other supporters and the media, with big fees for stars that have occasionally ended up flopping. However, there have been times where the Blues have very much managed to get transfer right, even in the Todd Bailey era, where Chelsea have already spent over £1 billion on players and overseen a mass clear-out of the dressing room before bringing in Mauricio Pochettino to rebuild a Deadwood squad from their worst-ever top-flight season in the past 30 years. There have been positives to take. But with every positive move, there seem to have been 3 or 4 deals that just haven't panned out the way Chelsea would have hoped. With that being said, Football.London has compiled a list of 5 Chelsea players that you might not remember being at the club. Malang Sarr. Perhaps the most famous thing to happen to Sarr while at Chelsea is that even Pochettino forgot he existed when asked by a reporter about his fitness earlier this year. Unfortunately for the 24-year-old, his last 4 years at Chelsea have seen rack up a grand total of just 8 Premier League matches. Hakim Ziyech. A player whose time at Stamford Bridge has often been marked by inconsistency. Many will easily forget the Morocco international is still with the club. The star arrived at the club back in 2020 after 4 impressive with Eredivisie giants Ajax. However, Ziyech was unable to replicate the same kind of form he'd shown across the channel, picking up just 14 goals across his 3 seasons with Chelsea so far. Only making 24 appearances across all competitions last season, he slowly fell down the pecking order under Graham Potter and then Frank Lampard, and played just 84 minutes over the final 14 matches of the season. Now, he's on loan at Galatasaray in the Turkish Super League, where he's already found 2 goal contributions in his only 2 matches for the club so far. David Datro Fofana. After a 22-goal season with Molde in the Norwegian top division, Fofana arrived at Chelsea as a relative unknown. While his Ivorian nationality linked him with arguably the club's greatest-ever striker in Didier Drogba, supporters understood that he was an investment rather than an instant impact signing. Those same fans are still waiting to see whether that investment is worth it, although it's clear he's not ready for Premier League football yet. He made just 4 appearances last season, failing to score in any, before he was sent out on loan in the summer to Bundesliga club Union Berlin. Wesley Fofana. Another player hampered by injuries throughout his short career, Fofana has played just 34 games across the last 3 seasons, with just 20 of those coming last season for the Blues. Despite his enormous upside and potential, it's becoming harder and harder to justify his massive price tag of £70 million as he continues to recover from the long-term injury he suffered during pre-season earlier this year that's threatened to cut his season short already.